Hello everyone, welcome back to Code My Hobby, and in this video I'm going to be showing you how to make this website responsive. Now in the previous video we made this website and I told you I'll be making this website responsive in my next video. So this is my next video, so make sure you watch it to make the website responsive. Now as you can see here, we made this nice looking website, but it's time to get it into mobile view so it can be responsive. Now let's see how responsive this website can be. So if you want to check how responsive your website is, simply right click and choose inspect. Then it takes you to this page. Now we can see over here that it's on 1184 pixels by 740 pixels, so that's why it's on like a laptop screen, or should I say an iPad screen. So now let's see how it's going to look on a mobile screen. Let's select an iPhone X. So you can see, you can notice that the navigation area disappeared and this menu button appeared over here. So let's simply click the menu button to see what happens. So as we click the menu button, this drop down appears with the navigation area. So let's click something like destination. So it takes us to the destination page. You can see it over here. So let's click contact. It takes us to the contact page. So this website is fully responsive. Let's click the home page. It takes us back to the home page and all the buttons still work perfectly. So now let's change it to another device, let's say Galaxy S5. So as you can see here, it's very responsive. Also, I'm going to be hosting this website in my next video, so if you want to find out how I did that, stay tuned and let's jump into our VS Code. Hello everyone, welcome to Code My Hobby. I upload daily videos based around programming with HTML, CSS and JavaScript. Subscribe if that sounds interesting to you. Today we are going to be making this website responsive. Now in the previous video we made the website, we didn't make it responsive. Now if you want to get this code, the link is going to be in the description below for you to get the source code. And if you want to find out how I made the video, the link to the tutorial is also going to be in the description below. So make sure you check the description below, smash the subscribe button, give this a big thumbs up and let me know your thoughts in the comments. So the first thing we want to do is to give this onClick function. We want to give this onClick function to this class menu toggle because we're going to be using it to make our navigation area responsive. Now, so what we're going to do is to copy this and we're going to paste it over here, save. Now the next thing we want to do is to add a copyright text because we're going to be hosting this. So just go beneath the footer and create a div, give it a class of copyright text. Now in this div we're just going to have our paragraph. I'm going to say copyright, and to generate the copyright text, the little c, so it's just and copy with a semicolon 2021 Code My Hobby. All rights reserved. Save this. Now we're going to style this in our CSS. So now we're in our CSS. Let's grab the class copy this. So now we want to give this a width of 100%, background color of let's say -181818, which is black. Next thing we want to do is give this a padding of 8 pixels top and bottom and 100 pixels left and right. Next thing we want to do is give this a text align to the center. And give this a color of white. No, let's make it gray, like light gray or gray. So that's #999. So save this and let's check with the live server. So let's go to the footer over here. It's going to be beneath the footer. So you can see over here we have the copyright text, and you can see the copyright C, little c, which we generated by typing and copy with a semicolon. Now the next thing we want to do is to make this responsive. So we're going to go over here and write at media. I'm going to give this a max width of, let's say 767 pixels. So what this means is that at 767 pixels we want this site to have this this styling, this particular styling. So the styling over here is going to be different from the ones we have over here, over this media query. So this is just the styling for the other screens, like the other screen modes, which could be the iPhone screen, the Samsung screen, any screen, on mobile view, on tabs, then on PC. On PC we should have this styling, then on mobile view we should have this styling. So the first thing we want to select is the header. Also want to select the header.sticky. I want to give this a padding of 10 pixels top and bottom and 20 pixels left and right. Next thing we want to grab is the navigation. I want to give this a display of none. And the next thing we want to grab is our navigation.active class. I want to give this a display none. Give this a width of 100. Width of 100%. Height. Want to calculate the height, so calc 100% to 68 pixels. Next thing I want to give this is a position of fixed. I also want to give this a top of 68 pixels. Give this a left of 0, display none, display flex. Give this justify content to center, align items also to the center, flex direction, column, and lastly we want to give this a background color of white. White. Next thing we want to grab is the li. Want to give this a margin left of 0. Now the next thing we want to select is the anchor tag, so let's copy this over here, copy, paste it over here, and select the anchor tag. So we want to give this a text decoration of none. Let's give this a color of black. Also, let's give this a line height of 50 pixels. And next thing we want to do is to give this a font size of, let's say, 1.6 em. Also, let's give this a font width of 300. Now we want to select the class that we made with our JavaScript, which is the menu toggle. This. So let's copy it and paste it over here. So let's give this a position of relative. Give this a width of 100%. No, let's give this a width of 40 pixels. Height of 40 pixels also. Next, we're going to give this a background URL. So this is the menu button that's on top of the nav in our responsive mode when it's on screen mode. So this is the menu image. Now the next thing we want to grab is the background size. I want to give this 30 pixels and background repeat. We don't want the image to repeat itself, so let's say no repeat. And background position, center, and cursor to pointer. Now the next thing we want to select is the active mode. So let's copy this over here. Come over here, the active, So when it's active, we want to give this a background image. So it has this closed image when we select the nav area. Then we want to give this a background size of 25 pixels. Background repeat. No repeats. Also, let's position this to the center. So background position center. Now the next thing we want to grab is the menu toggle also. So let's say header dot sticky dot menu toggle, and let's give this a filter of invert one. So let's save this and check our live server. So now we're in our browser, and when we reduce the size of the screen, you can see here that the menu button appears. Then when we click it, you can see the close button appears over here, and this is the navigation area. So let's jump right into the other sections which we want to make responsive. So we're back in our CSS, and the next thing we want to grab is this section. Now we want to give this a padding of 40 pixels. Next thing we want to grab is H2. So let's grab the banner, content, H2, and we want to reduce the font size. So let's give this a font size of 2.5 em. Next thing we want to grab is the image. So banner, img. I want to give this a width of 100%. Now we want to grab the paragraph. So say banner the content, and to reduce the font size also. So let's give this a font size of 1 em. So next thing we want to grab is the about class. So let's give this a flex direction of column. Let's grab the content box, about content ex. So let's give this a mean width of, let's say, 100%, a width of 100% also. Text align to the center, and padding right 0 pixels. Now the next thing we want to grab is the image box and also the content box. So let's copy this, paste over here, the about img ex. Now we want to give this a mean width of 100% also, width of 100%, and padding right of 0 pixels. Next thing we want to grab is the about image. So let's select about imgbx. So let's give this a mean height of 250 pixels. Now the next thing we want to grab is buttons. So btn, give this a margin button 30 pixels. Save this. We have 3 buttons, so we're going to grab the other buttons. So btn2, btn3. So we've selected all the buttons and we gave each of them this margin bottom of 30 pixels. Now the next thing we want to grab is the destination list dot box. So I want to give this a position of relative and max width of 350 pixels and width, max width of initial also, width of 350 pixels and a height of 400 pixels. Now the next thing we want to select is the image box, so let's copy this. So I want to give this a height of 320 pixels. Next thing we want to grab is our footer. So footer.sci. No, we're going to style the footer in another media query with another max width. So let's check how this is going to look like. So let's go to our browser, inspect. So as you can see, we're able to slide over here, which is not what we want for now. So I'll show you what is causing that, which is our footer, because we've not made our footer responsive. That's what we're going to be doing next. You can see the navigation area over here fully functional, but other sections of the website are responsive. You can see everything here is responsive, just the footer. So we're going to style the footer now. So let's jump back into our VS Code. Before we start our footer, I noticed something in the testimonial section, so I want to fix that real quick. So let's grab testimonial. That box. So I want to give this a margin of 150 pixels and a padding of 20 pixels. So let's check that in our browser. It's not looking like, okay, I think we made a mistake. Okay, it's supposed to be 15 pixels. Sorry about that. Okay, now it's better. So let's go to our footer. So now we want to select a new media query. Add media, max width of 991 pixels. First thing we want to grab is the footer. I want to give this a padding of 40 pixels. Give this a font size of 20 pixels. Next thing we want to grab is the container. Give this a flex direction column. Let's grab the SCI class. So footer, the container .sci. Give this a margin right of 0 and a margin bottom of 40 pixels. Also want to grab the about section, so let's copy this. Let's get about us. I think gave it the class about us. So let me check that real quick. Okay, yes, it's about us. So copy that and paste it over here. So we want to give this a width of 100%, and let's grab the footer, the container, our quick links. I want to give this a width of 100% also. Let's grab the contact box, so footer, the container, the contact. So let's give this a width of 100%, and also want to grab the copyright text and give us a padding of 8 pixels and 40 pixels. So let's check the footer. So you can see the about section isn't looking so nice. The text isn't spreading throughout the entire width, so I think there's an error in our code. So let's check that real quick and fix it. So I think I've gotten the error, which is this SCI, and when we go over here we notice we have sec, which is not SCI, so it's this class we actually want to use. So let's copy this and paste it over here, and here also. Save this and refresh your browser. Yeah, so everything is looking nice. The hover effects are still working perfectly. The navigation area is working perfectly also. So that will be all for this tutorial. If you need the source code, the link is going to be in the description below for you to get the source code and practice with it. You can play around with it, make it better, add your own animations. There's a lot you can do. And don't forget to stay tuned, because I'm going to be hosting this website for free, and I'll be showing you how to do that in my next video. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please give it a big thumbs up. Comment your thoughts below and I'll respond to them as soon as I can. Comment down below. Source code is in the description, and stay tuned for the next video. I'll see you later. Goodbye.